Hello everybody. I don't typically discuss socio-political commentary, especially when it is on topics such as inclusion and diversity. But Mattel's Barbie has partnered with the National Down Syndrome Society to make the first ever Down Syndrome Barbie doll. As Mattel has stated, early experiences shape what any child imagines to be possible, and it is important that they see themselves represented in play. And I believe highlighting people with disabilities is thoughtful inclusion, and so is the Down Syndrome Barbie.
Toy maker Mattel introducing the first ever Barbie doll representing a person with Down syndrome.
I love it!
Mattel said it worked with the US National Down Syndrome Society on the doll's face, features, clothing, accessories, and packaging to ensure the depiction is accurate.
I'm the first ever Barbie with Down syndrome, and it's like me. And it's beautiful and I love it to pieces.
Let's get into our unboxing. The first indication of this being the Down Syndrome Barbie is the National Down Syndrome Society banner on the packaging. Notice the slight slant in the eyes, indicative of persons affected with Down syndrome. Also note the thicker than normal body type. Notice the elongated torso, another effort to accurately represent persons affected with Down syndrome. Overall, I really couldn't tell the difference between this and a regular Barbie until you place them side by side. Now you can see just how much shorter this doll is compared to a typical Barbie. And there you have my brief overview of the Down Syndrome Barbie. Oh, before you go, I wanted to share a few heartwarming stories and a bit of valuable information I've discovered while researching persons affected with Down syndrome.
Her sister has Down syndrome and has always loved dolls, so she sat her down to tell her this incredible surprise.
Is the first ever doll with Down syndrome.
What?
Yeah.
Of my life, there's a doll just like me.
She instantly started tearing up, finally feeling included in one of her favorite things.
Well, this picture pretty much says it all. This is Sophia. She's the sweetest 6-year-old, and the smile on her face really paints a picture of just how much this Barbie means to her and will mean for so many other children with Down syndrome.
This is for you. Jaw to the floor and a smile from ear to ear. That's how Sophia Sullivan reacted to getting a Barbie that looks just like her. This sweet 6-year-old couldn't let go of the new doll that she referred to as Beautiful Barbie.
Does she look like you? Yeah. What does she have? Blonde hair? But yet she's special like you and unique because she's loved, right? And you're loved.
Sophia's father, Michael Sullivan, tells me it means the world that Sophia can now play with a doll that looks just like her. And of course, every 6-year-old girl wants to say, I look like Barbie. Barbie has represented beauty to young girls for decades. Mattel recognizes the impact of this, and they tell me their goal in releasing this doll is to enable children to see themselves in Barbie. Mattel sent me a statement saying, quote, children's early childhood experiences shape what they imagine to be possible, and it is important that they see themselves reflected in play, end quote. And Sullivan says this will make a world of difference for both Sophia and her friends that also have Down syndrome.
And Barbie is a beauty standard, and when they see a Barbie doll with her Down syndrome, I just see my daughter, and I see that now we're really representing the whole world.
While one doll may not impact everyone, Sullivan tells me it will instill a new level of confidence in Sophia, and that alone means the world.
And she was just the sweetest 6-year-old I've ever met.
In doing research to make this video, I've also stumbled upon a dark fact that many overlook. It's how many children diagnosed pre-birth with Down syndrome are euthanized by their parents. This isn't a problem only in America, but the world over. Also consider how many people with Down syndrome are institutionalized and denied basic civil rights that many of us enjoy. Here is a brief discussion of the topic from the comments section with Brett Cooper.
People with Down syndrome are actually discriminated against. They're often looked down upon. People don't expect much of them. They get pushed to the outskirts of society, and even worse, the worst thing is that they are often killed before they even get the chance at life. That is actual injustice. This is actually an injustice. Matt Walsh tweeted about this yesterday and said, I know some conservatives are calling this woke, but I don't see it this way. It's pro-life. The left is exterminating Down syndrome children. They are the victims of an actual eugenics campaign. This is one case where inclusion and representation is actually important. And Matt got a lot of pushback for that, but I 100% agree with him. I mean, look at these statistics. This is in America. Quote, it is estimated that 60% to 90% of children diagnosed with Down syndrome are aborted in the US, compared to 18% of all pregnancies ending in abortion. In the UK, 90% are aborted. In countries like Iceland, they celebrate the fact that they have almost entirely eradicated Down syndrome. Here's an article about it. What kind of society do you want to live in inside the country where Down syndrome is disappearing? With the rise of prenatal screening tests across Europe and the United States, the number of babies born with Down syndrome has significantly decreased. But few countries have come as close to eradicating Down syndrome births as Iceland. Since prenatal screening tests were introduced in Iceland in the early 2000s, the vast majority of women, close to 100%, who received a positive test for Down syndrome terminated their pregnancy. Imagine being a person with Down syndrome who is watching all of this happen and who is able to comprehend all of this. That is injustice. They are able to understand. I don't know how people don't get that. Like, we watch people with Down syndrome go on to write incredible books, to start businesses, to testify in front of Congress about the fact that they are being exterminated. And you think that they don't feel this? That they don't feel the fact that society actually oppresses them and doesn't deem them valuable? Like, they deserve to be uplifted. They deserve to have their voices heard in more ways than just through a Barbie doll. But if a Barbie designed just for them brings them and their families joy, then it's a start. And I'm happy to celebrate that.
Thank you very much for watching. There's more to come. Stay tuned on Assembly Required.